All right, here's part 2. We are still stating if the triangles in each pair are similar, and if so, state how you know they are similar, and complete the similarity statement. Okay, so I've got 47 and 81. Let's figure out this missing angle right here. So 47 plus 81, we're going to cheat and use calculator. 128. And then 180 minus the 128. And we should get 52. So 52 goes here. 52 also goes there because those guys are vertical angles. Vertical angles are always congruent. All right, so let's do 52 and 77. We get 129. Ooh, something's going to be off here. Let's subtract to find my missing angle. So 180 minus 129. And I get 51 for right here. Okay, so it looks like I have one pair of congruent angles, and that's it. And remember, my 3 reasons for being able to say that triangles are similar are side, side, side similarity, angle, angle similarity, or side, angle, side similarity. And for angle, angle, I need 2 pairs of angles, not just one. So this one, nope, doesn't work. All right, this picture right here, we've got only 2 pairs of sides, right? But don't have a pair of vertical angles there in the middle. So I'm guessing it's going to be side, angle, side if anything is going to work. All right, if I do a small and a large fraction, I've got a 5 and a 6, and then a 20 and a 24, right? The smallest here is 5, the smallest here is 20, so I put those together. Biggest here is 6, biggest here is 24. So if I reduce both of those, 5 divided by 20, I get 0.25 or 1/4. 6 divided by 24, I get 0.25 or 1/4. So they reduce to the same thing, which means yes, they are similar by side, angle, side similarity. Remember, sides have to be proportional. Angles, the included angle in the middle, they have to be congruent. So if they go, let's see here, they go S, T, U. So they start at S, so I'll start at S. And then they go across the larger side, so I'll go across the larger side to K, and then around to L. So triangle S, K, L. And my reason is side, angle, side. All right, find the missing length indicated. Okay, this one is a little weird. This is different than any of the ones we've done. So normally we have all 4 little pieces and we have to find one. But see how they gave us the big side here, and we're looking for the whole side here, but the 28 and the question mark, or we can make that next day correspond. And they give us both the little bottom pieces. So on this one, I would say whole thing over 12 equals, I'm just going to make that next, whole thing over 21, and then cross multiply. Alright, so this is what 12x equals 28 times 21. So that's 588. Divide by 12. And I get x equals 49. So again, since I was looking for the whole thing here, and I had the whole thing here, the x and the 28 kind of correspond to each other, and the 12 and the 21 are in between the same 2 parallel lines. So that's why the 12 and the 21 correspond. Alright, this is not a bad one here. I can do, see how I've got my 5, which goes with the question mark. I'll make that the x. And then my 3 goes with the 6. So let's make that an x. So I would say, because this is a bunch of different ways, why don't we do x over 6 and 5 over 3. Cross multiply, 3x equals 30. Divide both sides by 3. Therefore, x is 10. Alright, hopefully that answers your questions there. I could have also, if I wanted to, I could have done, what, 5 over x for this one equals 3 over 6. I would have gotten the same thing. Alright, so same kind of weird thing on this one. I know the whole thing here, and then I'm looking for the top piece. I think I can figure out the whole thing here, can't I? And I know the top piece. So I just have to figure out what's 12 plus 15, which should be 27. Alright, so I'm going to do whole thing over top. So 45 over x equals whole thing 27 over 12. Cross multiply. 27x equals 45 times 12. Let's see. 540. Or sorry, yeah, 540. Divide by 27. And x should be 20. Here we go. Alright, next one. Again, they give me, go over towards where the question mark or the x is, right? On that side, I have the whole thing. And then I have this little piece here. And you see how this little piece here corresponds with the 4. But I have the whole thing here, which means I need to come up with the whole thing here. Well, 4 plus 8 will give me 12. So I can do 12 over 4 equals 18 over x. So whole thing over top equals whole thing over top. Cross multiply. 12x equals 4 times 18. 4 times 18. I get 72 there. Divide by 12. I end up with 6. Alright, let's see here. This one, since I have a top piece there and a bottom piece there, I think it would be easy enough to figure out the top piece there with just subtracting. And then the bottom piece. 14 minus 10 is going to give us 4, so I'll put 4 here. So if I do 4 over 10 equals negative 3 plus x over 15. So top over bottom equals top over bottom. Don't forget your parentheses. Cross multiply. Alright, so that's negative 30 plus 10x equals 60. I'm going to add the 30 to both sides. So I end up with 10x equals 90. Divide both sides by 10. And x should be 9. Alright, so again, I could have done the whole thing over the bottom here. It was easy enough to subtract 14 minus 10 to give me the top pink piece there, which was 4. Alright, let's see here. Oh, same type of thing on this one. My unknown is part of the whole thing there, so I got to come up with what the whole thing is there. And I know the bottom piece here, which corresponds to, if you look at it this way, I'm calling it the bottom piece. I'm kind of looking at it like this. So the whole thing here, 6 plus 15 should be 21. So I would say 7x plus 7 whole thing over the bottom piece, which is 25, equals 21 over 15. So whole thing over the bottom. And then don't forget parentheses on that binomial, cross multiply. Ooh, 15 times 7. 105. Alright, so I have 105x plus 105 equals 25 times 21, and I get 525 there. Let's subtract the 105 from both sides. So 105x equals 525 minus 105. I end up with 420. Divide both sides by 105. I should get x equals 4. There you go. All right, now on this one, oh, I love this type. Let's do height over shadow equals height over shadow. So I would say, here's the person's height, and we don't know the height of the, what is this, the lighthouse, do we? But we know that the person's shadow is 8, and the lighthouse shadow is 96. So I would do 5 over 8 equals x over 96, height over shadow of the person, height over shadow of the lighthouse, cross multiply. I end up with 480 there, so 8x equals 480, divide both sides by 8. I end up with x equals 60. Alright, questions there? Hopefully that was pretty good. Just don't forget height over shadow on those word problems. Alright, now we're getting back into the old stuff. First thing, I would probably label your ordered pairs, x1, y1, x2, y2. Make sure you have these written down on your formula sheet. Alright, if I do my distance formula first, that's going to be what? Negative 1 minus 3, and parentheses squared, and then 7 minus negative 5. Alright, so that will give me negative 4, and then 144 plus 16 is 160. And then let's square root that, and we get, how about 12.7? Alright, next one. Let's do midpoint. So here's my midpoint, so I have to add up my x's. So 3 plus negative 1 over 2, and negative 5 plus 7 over 2. So that's 2 over 2. 2 over 2. So my midpoint is actually just 1, 1. Okay. Now I have to do the slope. This is your slope right here. Slope formula. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 7 minus negative 5 over negative 1 minus 3. So that gives you 12 over negative 4. And that becomes negative 3 over 1. All right, I'll leave that there for a moment. All right, any questions there? Okay, moving on. All right, graph the image of the figure using the transformation given. All right, so it says dilation of 2 about the origin. So what I would do is D, E, F, G, D, E, F, and G. All right, D is 2, negative 1. E is 1, 1. F is 0, 1, and G is negative 1, negative 1. All right, I have to multiply everything through by a factor of 2. All right, so that's going to become, multiply by 2 to both of them, 4, negative 2, 2, 2, 0, 2, and negative 2.